perspective on Brexit and sort of what the city's needs are. So we'll start with followed by a question and answer session of about 20-25 minutes with Mark and Jeremy Brown, who is the corporation's special representative in Europe.
Is at the end of the day to be involved in it. But I think you're going to see a great deal of hard work being done by individual companies, by trade. I think what's being done right now is a very careful assessment of what the issues are. Some of them are highly technical. For example, there are direct regulations from the European Union, there is tax arrangements. All of these sort of things need to be looked at. What should be done in the short term? Do we need to put some of these into British law? What can be dispensed with? What is really important that we want going forward in terms of keeping business? So a lot of technical work that has already begun. Indeed, some of it was done before the referendum.
That there will be something resembling as I said, a sort of department for Brexit, which will constitute, one assumes, senior officials from the...
So the task we've all got now, as I've said, is implementing the decision of the British people, making sure this is done in the most effective and efficient way, trying to preserve as much as we can of existing arrangements, and assisting the government and indeed other European countries in setting up new arrangements that will work.
So now we're ready to go. So Mark Bolliat, take it away.
For the negotiations with the EU 27, and I mean, I assume that that feels the government clearly doesn't have a detailed contingency plan, so it's in the process of putting one together, and we're in the process of helping.
Before the referendum, we had wanted Gove, I understand, wanted to go straight.
But today you've had Boris Johnson clearly talking about continued access to the single market, and indeed saying, we're not going to be closing the door on immigration from Europe. So that sort of liberal approach is very much, I think, what business would like to see.
Liberal approach. Access to the single market.
It is clear that this is going to be a negotiation. And can it all be achieved? Well, that remains to be seen. Clearly, Britain is not going to get everything that it wants. But on the other hand, we've seen already the effect on European stock markets of the British decision to leave, and we think it is in the interests of the whole of the European Union, not just of Britain, to have an arrangement that preserves as much as what we've currently got as possible.